been waiting around for too long for something to show. Same old places and faces of people with nowhere to go. But we're not like them, we are better, both you and I know. Grab your car keys and jacket, 'cause honey, we're ready to go.
Alright folks, welcome to today's video. Well, it's time for us to say goodbye to Paris. We had a great time here. Hopefully we'll get to come back and see it again another time. But now it's time to go on to Brussels. And so we took the bus, and we were looking at some reviews on Google, and there was people talking about how the bus station in Paris was like a third world country bus station and how horrible the buses are. Obviously, these people are telling me they've never been to a third world country without telling me they've been to a third world country. I mean, good Lord. We took Flixbus, and it was awesome. A very smooth ride. The driver was really good. I mean, he was good with the brakes, good with the accelerator, didn't joss us around. It was hard to stay awake, actually, and I wanted to stay awake and see the French countryside. So, yeah, I highly recommend if you want to see the countryside between Paris and Brussels, definitely take the bus.
We got no money, but honey, we got nothing to hide. If worst comes to worst, I'll be Bonnie and you can be Clyde. We've got 2 hearts ready to fire and enough ammunition. A 62 hardtop DeVille with a 4-speed transmission. You've got one hand on my knee, one hand on the steering wheel, worlds passing by outside. The flickering light of the white lines in the corner of my eye. I'll never leave your side, I'll never leave your side, I'll never leave your side.
So on this journey, we started entering the area of the Somme. And of course, we know that was a very bloody World War I battle site. And it just kind of made me start thinking, about, because the Battle of the Bulge was not too far away in the Ardennes forest and all that, right? Well, it made me start thinking about my grandfather. And I was actually on this bus and I started looking things up and going, man, he was 18 years old when he was in this neck of the woods. And my grandfather, he joined the army and he got in late. It was 1945 before he entered Germany. And Germany's all I know that he said he was in. I don't know if he was ever in France or if he was ever in Brussels or anything like that. Your grandpa never really talked much about the war. He talked, the only thing he would ever tell us was that he was a truck driver. And okay, no problem. I mean, there's no problem just being a truck driver. I mean, it takes everybody to feed an army and transport an army and everything else, right? But I was watching a documentary one time, and they were showing how the 45th Infantry was very instrumental in liberating some of the concentration camps after the war was over, or towards the end of the war. And it always kind of made me wonder if, because the 45th Infantry is out of Oklahoma, and it just made me wonder if Grandpa may have been instrumental in liberating some of those concentration camps. And so I don't know. Grandpa's been dead for quite some time. He passed away at 75, and It's been 80 years since he was there this year. 80 years, that's a long time if you really think about it. And so it's kind of sad, and this is going to be my little bit of preaching to anybody that might be young watching my video. Man, talk to your grandparents before they're dead and gone. Talk to your parents before they're dead and gone. There's questions about my dad's military service in the Navy and his time in the Philippines that I will never get answered because I didn't ask. I didn't know to ask. So, yeah, talk to your elders. Learn those stories, memorize those stories, and know where you come from. That's going to be my preaching for the day. And so we entered the Midi train station in Brussels, and it's the southern one, and we will actually leave here when we catch the train too. It's a train and bus station. I did not know that at the time until we got here and found out. And so when you're coming around that area, you're walking around that area, just keep your head on a swivel. I'm not saying we ran into any trouble at all, but there's some sketchy looking folks around there, sketchy looking areas, so just be careful. All right, everyone, we made it to Brussels. And I'll just give you a little highlight of our room here. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I will do that on our last video here, but I can at least give you a good view. This is a lot more roomier than our last one. Christine's chilling over there.
Yeah, I'm just raising my legs.
I know. So nice big bed. A lot of room. A lot of room to put our suitcases, all that good stuff. So even got the kettle. I just made some tea and a little coffee maker. So anyway, here's the bathroom. Got the sink and all the good stuff here. Nice towels, and then a big shower. So, and then a separated toilet. And plenty of room in there too. Now, our room in Paris was a lot smaller than this, but it's one of those old school Paris buildings, so we kind of expected that. This one here, it seems like it's kind of old school, but it's been renovated. And this is our view. Not much of a view, but hey, here, let me focus here. At least got a little green space down there. Now, I'm going to take you guys down the worst part of this. And I want you to keep in mind, these are both 25 kilos apiece. So, what is that, about 50 pounds, baby? Something like that?
55, 60, something.
About 50 pounds at least each.
Hey, you can't talk on the stairs.
And so I'm going to take you guys down the stairs here.
Do the stairs.
This is a little sampling. But here you go. All right, now we're down here in the lobby area. And it's got a nice little lobby. There's actually kind of a little kitchen area. You can use some of the accommodations here, like the microwave, another kettle. Got breakfast bowls. They even got some breakfast cereals, granolas, things like that. And this is all complimentary cookies. So everything here is complimentary. It's part of the deal. Again, everything looks great except for these stairs. Getting 25 kilo luggage up that is a nightmare. And it's not necessarily the weight, it's the size of the suitcases. Anyway, guys, here we go. Oh, by the way, stay tuned for the last video of the Brussels series, and I'll let you guys know where this place is. It is located near city center, so we should be able to walk to everything. So the location's really good, and the price was really good. For 4 nights, it's running me about a little bit over $400 US. So can't beat that. And so today is the next day. We just went walking. We are not in a big hurry on this trip to go see a lot of different sites. A matter of fact, I don't have hardly anything planned except to go to the Grand Place and, see some other things that you're going to see here in just a minute. And so we just started taking a slow walk, and we ran into this church here, and it's Iglesia Sainte Catherine. The Church of St. Catherine, and it's like not even 5 minutes from our hotel. Beautiful church, as you can see. And so then we made our way to the grand place, and we were just mesmerized. The architecture here is amazing. I'm just going to let the video roll here and throw on a little bit of music for you guys, and I just want you to enjoy it. And so this was a police cadet academy. They were actually on their morning march, I guess. And may we never forget. So the bagpipes came out, and it is Armistice Day here in Europe, Veterans Day in the United States. So thank you for all of you guys who served, all you men and women who served. So we actually got to thank these guys for their service in the Belgian military.
T'as perdu ta place.
Oh my goodness. What do we have here?
Hey, look at that. It's the rebel.
Kentucky straight bourbon banana.
45 euros. That's really not bad prices, to be honest with you.
Can we take it to our next destination?
Oh, don't worry, I'll drink it.
Department retired police officer. Nice to meet you from the US. Okay. Do you mind if I get a picture with you?
And for the highlight of the day, we finally got to see Monacan Piss. And guess what? He is celebrating Armistice Day also. He's all dressed up in his uniform, looking sharp, y'all. Looking sharp.